I am recording. We're going to start with a credit score. So a credit score down here is a score connected to your Social Security number. That means it follows you from bank to bank, from place to place. It is between 300 and 850. It shows your ability to pay back loans. A credit card is a short-term loan, and technically so is getting electricity to your house, so is all that stuff. What is considered a good credit score? Want to take a guess?
850.
So, well, 850 is, that's an excellent credit score. That means you've never made a mistake ever. So poor, if you want to write it down, poor is like 300 to like 580. Fair, which means you're okay at it, is 580 to about 670. Good is 670 to 740. And very good or exceptional, very good is like 740 to 850. So which one does a bank require, do you think, to get a loan? Depends on the loan. If you want $1,000, maybe they'll take, they're probably not going to take a 300 credit score, but they might take a fair one. If you want to buy a house, you're probably looking at very good. Depends on also how much you want to spend on your house. If you're looking for a $250,000 loan, you better have very good. Or perhaps you've got a spouse where one of you is very good and one of you is good, and together combining, that's awesome. Or you have a parent who's willing to sign off on it. A good score would probably be enough for like a car or something like that that's a little lower. Yeah?
What if you have a spouse and theirs is poor and yours is very good? You're going to buy a house.
Then I would suggest that you first apply by yourself, because they're going to average your scores and that's going to pull you down. But it also depends on your income. So like if your spouse makes a whole bunch of money, even with a poor credit score, well, not a poor one, but a fair credit score, you could get a loan for a house if you both make a lot of money, because they know you've got a lot of money coming in. But if you've got, one of you has a very good credit score and a pretty good income, I would apply by yourself and see if that works. Okay. And that doesn't mean that your spouse can't be on they wouldn't be on the loan, but they would still be like an owner of the house if you want them to, like on the title and everything. It's just your name would be on the loan. You're the one responsible for paying it back. All right, we're going to go back to the top. Anybody else have a question for me about credit scores? By the way, you can check your credit score if you want to. If you check it too many times, it ends up going down, because that means that you're trying to get a loan from a lot of different places. But have you seen like commercials and stuff where places advertise check your credit score without it changing? I bank with Wells Fargo, and they have a program where I can check my credit score without it affecting it at all. So a lot of banks, if you ask them, if you can check your credit score through your bank, it won't change your credit score. But right now you don't have one. So, all right. A finance charge is interest owed to the bank because you didn't pay off your loan. I mean, like it's not like, I mean, with a credit card, it's a finance charges because you didn't pay off your credit card. Otherwise, it's just interest associated with your loan. It's not like a punishment. It's because banks are a business, which means that they're going to charge you interest for you borrowing money. So basically, they often call the interest a finance charge. So it's interest for the bank. Unpaid balance is what is unpaid on your credit card. Each month. So how do you think you determine what the new balance is on your credit card? What you owe now. But like, how do we figure that out? How do we figure out how much we owe now? Come on, don't get shy. Talk to me. What do you have to pay when you pay a credit card? Well, yeah, money. But like, what are you paying for?
Bills.
Your bills. Okay, so you're paying the unpaid balance from before. And if you had an unpaid balance, what are you going to also have to pay for?
Interest.
Your interest that you owe the bank. Plus any new charges. Minus, what are we going to subtract? What you paid. So you probably paid something last month, so you're going to subtract that. And so the things you need to pay for are your unpaid balance, your interest, your new charges, and what you paid, or subtract what you paid. The interest won't be there if you paid off your credit card every month. That's it for vocab. You can put that away when you're done. You're going to need a calculator if you don't have one. Oh, hey, by the way, here's some nice news about your credit score. Let's say you make a bad decision and you take a loan out for $10,000 when you're like in your 20s and you don't pay it back and you make some mistakes, etc. Do you think that follows you your whole life? Yes, but the things that happened to you more recently affect it greater. So if you're in your 40s and you've been paying your bills for 10 years, your credit score is still going to look pretty good, even if you made a mistake at the beginning. Because the stuff that happens like now, more recently, makes it jump or drop a lot more than what happened in the past. So don't feel like, oh my God, if I make one bad decision, I'm screwed forever. No, you're not. It's just what happened the most recently. I mean, it will still affect it, but what happened the most recently will be the thing that is going to do the best for you. It does take a little while. You can't be like, Sure, I didn't pay back a $10,000 loan for 5 years, and they had to chase me down for it, but I've paid my electricity bill this month, so what's the problem? You know, like, you do have to be reliable for a while before they trust you again, but it will, if you're reliable for a couple of years, your credit score is going to go right back up. Okay, so we're going to try number 4. All right, so number 4 says the last balance that was on your credit card was, the unpaid balance was $198.60. It looks like you paid off $65.40, and now you've got a finance rate of 1.2%. This is connected to your APR, but this is divided by 12. Remember that APR is really high. This is just what you're charged that month. And new charges are $0, so that's pretty good. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to subtract that payment off. So in my calculator, I'm going to take $198.60 minus $65.40. So my unpaid balance, oh, I don't need to write it right there, it's down here, is $133.20. That's how much I didn't pay off of my credit card last month. Okay, now they want to know the finance charge. So what is the finance charge again? Interest that I owe the bank. So I'm going to pay that $133.20 times 1.2%. So in your calculator, 133.2 times what? 0.012. $0.012. So I got $1.60. And then how do I find my new balance? Yep. So we're taking the unpaid balance and we're adding the finance charge. We would also usually add the new charges, but it looks like this person made no new charges this month. So we're at $134.80. I want you to try number 5 with your partner right now, please. Talk to each other. I did the problem up here so you can check your work as you go. You need to get some water. Do you want me to show you how to get rid of hiccups? Sit up straight. I'm not going to scare you or do anything weird, I promise. Okay. Put your hands like crossed like this on your belly. Pull in. Okay. Close your eyes. And you're going to very slowly as you can, breathe in through your mouth. So make it last as long as you possibly can and push out on your belly against your hands And then breathe out as long as you can. So take 2 deep breaths, breathe in as long as you can, make it last as long as you can, and breathe out, make it last as long as you can. Slow breathing out, push out on your against your hands.
Not pushing against your hands.
Or you just drink water.
I don't hear hiccups.
Did you get it? Do you know what hiccups are? Hiccups are your diaphragm spasming. So it's that muscle that's right there, and it's spasming up and down. So if you force your breath to push against your hands and then push in and go really slow, it'll stop it from spasming. All right. Everybody okay on that number 5? Anybody need an explanation for me? Did everybody figure out that the finance rate was 0.0175? Yeah, it was kind of confusing because number 4 there was no new charges, and number 5 there was. Am I okay to move on, Gavin? Okay. All right, flip to the back side, please. Now, sometimes credit cards will give you variable rates. Variable rates means that the rates change depending on how much you owe. Now, you would think that you would owe less for a smaller amount. But it looks like on this credit card, which is kind of common, that you would get charged 1.25% on the first $500 of your unpaid balance, but only 0.75% on the unpaid balance that's above $500. Why? Why would banks make it cheaper if you have a larger unpaid balance?
Because now the time you're going to have to less.
Yeah. Well, they want money, right? They want interest. So they're kind of making it so that if you have a large unpaid balance, okay, you're paying less, like they're cutting you a deal, but really they're just hoping that you might leave that unpaid balance and keep paying. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we've done variable rates before with different things. So I'm going to challenge you and your partner to do number 9. It's 1.25%. This is the unpaid balance. Okay, so this person owes. They have not paid off. They owe $1,604.08. It's their unpaid balance. You need to find out 1.25% on the first $500 and 0.75% on the rest. And I'm going to have that pair come up and show us how you did it. And I will tell you the right answer so you can check and see if you're right. It's going to be $14.53. So go ahead and try it with your partner. See if you can do it. What do you mean above it? You're figuring out the amount for the 500 and the amount that's greater than 500 and adding them together. Make sure you're talking to your partner, please.
because that's our,
So your first $500 you're charging 4.25.
How would you do like
And then you subtract 500.
Then it would just be one.
You gotta take the first 500 and multiply that by. So you subtract.
Okay. Are we good? All right, talk to your partner. Decide if you'd like to come up here and show us how to do it to win a prize. One of you needs to talk. One of you needs to write. One hand up for partner set if you'd like to come up. 1, 2, 3. 1.
Do you have to write on your sheet?
Yes, please. Underneath there's room. All right, everybody be polite and listen up.
So what you're going to do first is find out the 1.25% of the 500, which should give you 6.25, $6.25. And then after that, you're going to find this 0.75% of the stuff above 500, which is going to be $1,104.08. That's going to end up being $8.28. Once you get that done, you're going to add those two together to get $14.53.
Perfect. You'll get a prize. Now, do you have to show all this work every time? Here's what I want to tell you. If it's on a homework quiz and you forget how to do this, you might be happy that you have this work shown. What I would expect is like maybe you'd write down 625 and 828 and then show me that you added those two together and you're good to go. Sound good? All right, at this point you can stick with your partner if you want, or you can split up. Your call.